Hello everyone, this is Fosun. Today, I will share this kind of fabric similar to Microsoft style. And there is a wavy and undulating feeling. Let's take a look at the project first. The main thing is to have a broken strip and a broken strip constraint, and two formulas. One is used to create this undulation, and these two are for the bottom. Okay, let's turn it off and focus on this one. Okay, one is using a ring jade to control it, to create a similar wave-like effect. The rest is a permanent one. There will be a gentle fluctuation. Okay, these are two different formulas used. Okay, let's copy the model here first and create a new project. And turn off the material options here. Delete all other labels that should be deleted. Look at the model here. There is a plane similar to paper, and a cube added. And there are some coin cubes here. In fact, to drill, you just select this cube and press T to shrink it. Okay. Then, we can stretch it. Okay. Just place them here. The production of these models is relatively simple. Next, we'll do animation. Then here are different groups. One is the content block above, and the people at the bottom. Here, we must pay attention to the subdivision. Look at the wireframe. The more subdivisions, it will be more beautiful when it fluctuates. It will be smoother and more supple. Okay, here we choose a formula and put it below as a subset. You can adjust the size here to control the height of the undulation. It's a bit too big here. Shrink it a little. Okay, almost. Then we move this position. If this is the top, move it to the bottom. Okay. This is a default way. You can change it to minus here, which is an outward spreading. But the speed is a bit fast. You can change the 0 point to behind here to 0.1. Okay, now there is a continuous fluctuation. Okay, let's add a circular bump. The radius can be made larger. The thickness is adjusted by changing the radius to give it a sense of undulation. Okay, let's set it here again. Change the margin curve. Then slightly reduce the internal offset to make it smoother. Okay, let's add a K1 needle. From the beginning. And then add about 90 stitches. And let it diffuse. Look. This is a feeling similar to water waves. If you think it's too small, you can increase its height a little bit. which will make it larger. OK, hold down the Ctrl key and drag to copy one. Delete the domain of this one. Turn this one off first. Lower this one a bit. Don't worry about this. The purpose of this is to make it in normal state. Have a slight fluctuation. To make it a little bigger. OK, then we can combine it with another one, with a higher fluctuation, to make a more obvious animation. OK, this is the overall fluctuation. Next, we need to add the spline constraint here. OK. Select the formula. To make it a little more, and sample 100. To make it smoother, lower the height, with a little wave-like fluctuation. OK, go back to the layer number, and drag it in. And remember to change the mode here to keep length. Switch to different directions. And rotate it 90 degrees. Then you can adjust the offset here to make it have an entrance animation. It feels a bit high here. It can be reduced a little. About 15. This is the effect here. Now, the diffusion is based on the points of our formula. To diffuse, if we want it to stay the same, we need to drag this leg constraint over here. And Alt+G to make a group to 1. And then drag it back. You can see that it is now the same as the position of the initial plane. Diffusion starts from the corner. Instead of this one, the current position. Let's take a look. It is the same as when we are actually on the plane. The diffusion range is the same. Now it spreads to the middle position. Enable chain constraint. It also spreads to the middle position. Here, we put the Y-bar constraint inside. The difference between inside and outside, if it is placed inside, you can see it very clearly, only by turning off this Y-bar. Only in this place, within the scope of our domain, can this formula substitution occur. Well, these two situations, it depends on the needs. This one can be said to be more convenient to control. OK. This is one. And then, we can adjust its different positions, such as a little lower. Of course, these contents can be deleted. Next, we can enrich its details. You can adjust its height. You can duplicate it several times. You can see some of them are of different lengths. Of course, after interweaving like this, you need to adjust its position. You can also copy some more. And see which position. Then put it below. So that it can move a little to the side. You can make it shorter. Turn this off first. For example, there is a little more now, and make it shorter as a whole. Let the axis be here. Okay, you can copy a few more. And then stagger them up and down. Okay, let's do some displacement. In fact, it's just the bottom. The bottom part is to enrich the main content of it. For example, this place, which are additional ones, including, you can also continue to copy it. Then move it up. And shrink the whole. So it becomes a long strip. Floating here. Okay, this is the animation part. Then for the entrance, you can use the offset to do it. It's currently 22. You can move it out. Okay, come in. To make an entrance animation, the timeline, here, can be staggered a little bit. To make it more rich. Okay, this is the animation part. Back here, let's first look at the rendering. Hey. I should have lost the copy just now. Undo this. Okay. Because the models of this project were copied here. Did I accidentally delete it or what? Let's take a look. Close and reopen it without saving. Here. Okay. Regarding the material, there are mainly some blue ones. And some glass. Let's mainly look at this one. This one in the middle has a blue one. And some white. Let's say which one it is. Okay, this is the glass. It's also made of glass. Give the full name of glass as 1. Read it again. Scroll down. Select multiple. Here is a gray strip. Just turn off the base color. Then turn off the transmission, which is glass. Turn it on. Now it's a white transparent glass. Here, some stripes are made through gradients. Change the axis. It looks good. Here, pay attention to the wrong connection. It should be connected to. Find it. Look here. Connect the color of the transmission. Okay, select these 2 points and change the merge to this inconsistent type. It will have a harder edge. The middle can be changed to a lighter blue. And the true ends can be selected a darker one. Okay, this is done to create to give it a sense of having different edges. Okay, this is the one we just made. This is the way to make glass, including other ones, and these here are similar. But here, we choose this smooth mode instead of this uneven mode. Okay, this is the process of making glass. Let's turn off the dedicated graphics card. The rest is, we need to add a white. Add a white, which is similar to a reflective plate. Let's move back a bit. You can see that when there is no bottom, this white area, when it doesn't run under the glass, it will be transparent to the bottom, so it is not so bright overall. But when you go beyond, or below it, when the light shines on the white background board, the light will be reflected onto the glass, so it looks whiter overall, and brighter. Of course, the color, you can adjust. Adjust the color of the back to control the overall color. For example, if you want a yellowish one, it doesn't look good. Let's do it. Well, you can use this to make it brighter. Okay, this red and blue gradient background. The gradient of the background, the color of the glass. Okay, undo it to the original. Okay, this is the effect of the background. Then you can copy it. And then focus on this area. Give it a random. This sunlight. Make it brighter. And shrink the glass above. Now, what we can see is, it is just an ordinary, similar to what we just said, glass with a little gradient. Below is a color board. For convenience, we can directly use this color. For example, now change it to red. Let it pass through the glass. After passing through, it will show the red color of the background. As you can see, if we turn off the background board, only showing the glass, it can reflect some colors of the light. However, the rest of it is black due to the black background, so it appears darker. It can reflect. You can put a background board underneath as a reflective reflector for the glass. If you don't want the background below to be visible, you can directly add an its object label and enable it, and turn off visibility. Now, it's a completely a board with a slightly brighter feel. Change it back to the blue we want. This is a version with a blue tone. Of course, the light here is a bit too strong. You can lower it a bit. This will make it look cleaner. This way is to make this style. and add some bolts to make a knot. You know, the darker feeling like just now. It's a common form. You can see a clear contrast. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.